Today we're going to give you an updated top 5 attack strategies at Town Hall 9. We've gotten lots of new hero equipment this year, so how can you use it to improve your favorite armies? We're going to start off with Zap Dragons. 8 dragons with 6 lightning spells was already strong before the new hero equipment came in, but now with the introduction of the Giant Arrow at Town Hall 9, it is unstoppable. So you do need a level 9 Giant Arrow if you want to one-shot air defenses and air sweepers, but once you get at level 9, this attack strategy is brutally strong, bringing the standard equipment on the king. Worth noting, by the way, we've only got level 20 heroes and low-level equipment, as we will in every attack today. Zap Dragon works on any base where you can get multiple air defenses easily with the Giant Arrow. So on this one here, I'm going to put my queen all the way down the bottom, Giant Arrow through the base, and get both of the air defenses. Now, if you're a real pro with the Giant Arrow, you can also try and place your queen on the angle here, and you might even be able to get 3 air defenses. But if you're just an average noob like me, should be pretty easy to get the 2 air defenses. Now, the best advice I can give you is place your queen on the exact tile you need to. Do not give her a chance to walk, because she might walk in an unusual way. Then you pop the Giant Arrow. I somehow get rid of the defensive queen. That was a complete accident, but look at that. You even one-shot the defensive queen if you get that right. Now I'm running the Archer Puppet with the queen. You can run the Frozen Arrow as well. So I'm going to put my king to the left, send the king and queen both together along a funnel. Keep in mind the queen, not really strong when she doesn't have the Invis Vial. And now it's a case of our 6 lightning spells. Where do we want to use them? And I decide to use them on the Expo here, so you're going to see any second now. Quake down, split the lightning spells to get maximum value, and look, there is nothing left on this base. There is a few Teslas that we haven't seen yet, and a little bit of the base over here, but I don't even think this attack would be possible to fail, even if I tried to. Spam your 8 dragons in a line. Don't put them all on the same tile. Spread them right out, then spread your loons out afterwards. So dragons, then loons. Use your baby dragon on the funnel, and use your CC balloons wherever you want. I use them on the right-hand side there to get rid of the air defense. You've also got a haste spell to help with that. Rage spell in the core of the base, and this is wrecked. Now, I would have crushed this base even if I didn't take down the queen with the Giant Arrow. That was a complete mistake, but hopefully I showed you it is possible to do if you wait for the right moment, even if it is by accident. I'm still counting at least 7, if not 8 dragons on the screen here, so I lost maximum 1. So even if I mess up the Giant Arrow, I still probably triple this one here, but just showing you how unstoppable it will be. Yeah, the Giant Arrow can be a little difficult, but if you practice enough, you will get so much better with it, and I mean, it's unfailable. Next up, we have a GoWi. Some people call it Golem Avalanche, but the way we're going to deploy it here is more of a GoWi. This is one of the simplest ground attack strategies, not necessarily the strongest, but really easy to pick up in terms of hero equipment. We are going to bring the Giant Gauntlet here. We are sending the king inside the base. You always want to have the Gauntlet, but if you don't have the Gauntlet unlocked, then the Barb Puppet is fine, and then the standard hero equipment on the queen, both low level yet again. Let's see how strong this army is. When you use this army, no matter which side you want to come from, you just need to make sure that you can get across the base with 2 jump spells and a couple of wall breakers. So I'm going to come from the top right angle here. So you start with 1 golem, then I generally put 4 or 5 wizards. 4 is my favorite number right behind. Then we're going to put the golem in the middle. But the most important thing is wait on your king. You are not in a rush to get your king down at this point in time. Now I put a second golem on each of the flanks. Yes, 2 golems on each flank, 1 golem in the core. Trust me, that is the best recipe. Use a couple of wall breakers on the top and bottom side. You've got 10 wall breakers with this, so you can wall break for your main push and then wall break for each of the flanks, so the golems can do even better tanking. Now we deploy the king into the center of the base because there's nowhere else for him to go. He will try in his absolute best to run outside the base if you're not careful. Then we use the first jump, and I think we can all see where the second jump's going to come in, and we're going to have successfully gotten across the base. Now, we did get down the defensive queen there. I probably should have used my freeze spell on it. If you didn't see what happened with her, go back and have a look. My wizards on the flank took her down, but definitely was worth a freeze spell on her. Now we jump across the core. I use the heal on both my heroes and the wizards. It's mainly for the wizards because obviously they don't have too many hit points. Now, this wasn't a great attack by me because my flank died out really quickly, but the core is going super duper strong here. I've still got the rage spell. I probably should have used that a long time ago. Still got plenty of golems to tank, and we're just gonna do a lap of the base here. So I probably started my main push a little late, so the stuff on the flank gets targeted super early. Didn't help that the Hound held up the main push. The level 20 Queen is not good at dealing with the Hound at all. I wish I had a level 30 heroes for these attacks, but I'm trying to show you that all these attack strategies are possible with lower level heroes. Obviously, level 20 is still relatively high at Town Hall 9, but if you get her up there, doesn't matter, level 20 to 30, all of these attack strategies will work. Next up, we have Zap Lalo. 6 lightning spells with the power of 3 hounds and 24 balloons. This attack strategy is so strong, not just at Town Hall 9, but every Town Hall afterwards. So best place to learn this is at Town Hall 9. We're bringing level 4 equipment on both the King and the Queen. Let's see if we can get a triple. So when it comes to Zap Lalo, you want to do this attack strategy when there's good zap value in the core, particularly if you can get a Queen next to an air bow. So it takes 4 lightning spells to remove the Queen, 6 to remove the air bow, and look at that, we get both sweepers as well. Insane value there. So that's when you're kind of looking to use this attack strategy, when there is nice zap value in the core of the base in particular. You don't really want it on the outside of the base, and you'll see why at the end. So I use the King to tank the Archer Tower. We use the baby dragon and the minions to funnel, and we're going to send our King and Queen in. Now, in terms of a Sui, if you know there's a Hound in the defensive CC, do not go inside the range of it, because when you Lalo, the Hound won't trigger, it won't pull out of the CC, and that's perfect for you. But if you don't know what's in the CC, it could be an Electro Dragon, much safer to Sui through the CC. But you're going to see my level 20 Queen here really struggles against the Hound, even though we got the poison spell down. Doesn't really do a whole lot. As per usual, if you've got the Frozen Arrow or the Giant Gauntlet, definitely run them on the King and Queen here, but I'm doing it in case some of you don't have it unlocked. Now we're going to start our Lalo. So this is where we're going to learn a lot about Lalo. So the reason it's important that we zapped out the core of the base here and then suied over here is we've got a nice L shape through the base, like that, as you see. So we're going to start on one corner. I could have started over here, but I didn't like how much anti-air damage was in there. I'd much rather end over there. So we send a Lava Hound first. We've also got a couple of pups still, so I send minions, and then you're just going to target as many different defenses with your loons as you can, and we're going to keep targeting. So you see the Tesla pops there, we put a few defenses on that, and look at that. We're just targeting as many of them as possible, and it looks really simple at this point. And trust me, a lot of you can do this, and you just try and time it so you get all the loons going in a wave across the base together, and then we're going to use our haste spells anytime we need to speed our balloons up when there's a lot of damage in the area. So we speed up there. That Lava Hound tanks perfectly. Now, this back end of the base is a little problematic. If there was a lot of air bombs in the area, we might get close to failing, but this is why you don't put all the loons on one tile. Even if there was a bunch of red bombs here, they wouldn't hit just one clump, they would only hit one clump of loons, sorry, whereas we've got 3 different clumps of loons there, and we can't fail that attack. And you can see the lava pups all over the base doing cleanup. Town Hall 9 is the best town hall to learn Lalo. It's extremely forgiving. You see there, I didn't get a lot of value with my heroes, but that doesn't matter. The power of Lalo and the lightning spells at Town Hall 9. We had to have one Queen Charge army today, and it is going to be Queen Charge Hog Rider. Town Hall 9 is a great place to learn this because in later Town Halls, Queen Charge Hybrid is extremely strong, and this is a great precursor for that. In terms of hero equipment, you desperately want the Frozen Arrow on your Queen. You can do it with the Archer Puppet, but the Frozen Arrow gets amazing value, as you'll see in this attack here. So when it comes to Queen Charge Hog Rider, there is a few rules with your Queen Charge. One, you have to deal with the defensive clan castle, so you need to get your Queen inside the radius of that. You need to deal with the Queen, and you must deal with the King. If you don't deal with the Queen with your Queen Charge, you can bring a skeleton spell with your Hog Riders and put the skeleton spell on top of the Queen, but that is a little bit risky. Much better to only do this attack strategy when you can get all 3 of them. So you can see when I charge into this compartment here, we are going to be able to reach all of them. Now you see I'm using these CoC balloons. It is a hog attack, but we are going to bring the balloons so that we can pull seeking air mines that are on the base. Have a look at this here. I missed there was a Seeking Air Mine there, and now because of that, we lose a healer. It would have been much more worth it to get a Loon in that area. Now, have a look at the power of the Frozen Arrow here. This defensive Queen's doing a lot of damage. Not anymore. Even with just a level 6 Frozen Arrow, it does so much work. Now the Queen's on the bottom side. I'm going to try and get one last wall breaker in here, but unfortunately, it's not raged for quite long enough, and it doesn't open the wall. Now, unfortunately, even with the extra DPS of the Frozen Arrow, it still takes a really long time to get through the Lava Hound here. Now, when it comes to the King with this attack strategy, if you need to use him to funnel the Queen at the very start, then use it. It's much better than your Queen walking around the base. But if not, you can use him to kind of tank for the start of the Hog Riders, because I'm going to start my Hogs at the top of the screen up here. So I popped the King ability. Would have been much better to have the Gauntlet here. We would have splashed the Tesla, but that's fine. Now we're going to come in with a few Hog Riders, and we're going to get a heal down as soon as you see a giant bomb. We've got 2 heal spells. Make sure you remember that. By the way, my Queen, which is level 20, is going to be able to deal with the level 30 King by herself just because of the Frozen Arrow. If you have the Archer Puppet, you'd have to use a Rage spell, Freeze spell, or your Queen ability. So we have the Hogs coming through, and it's kind of like the Lalo. You just trickle them at as many defenses as possible, but make sure you're never too early on them. You want everyone moving through the base together so you can get the value of the heal spells. Use the heal spells on the CC Hogs on the top side. They were particularly put in that, or specifically put in that area, because there was a few wizard towers. Then we freeze on the back end, and look at how many Hogs are still up. Pretty OP, huh? You've got 2 heal spells. Even 1 rage spell was enough for that Queen charge. Didn't even bother using the 2nd rage spell at all. But yeah, this attack strategy is really strong. Now, Queen charge Lalo is strong as well, but we already had a Lalo army in this video, and I wanted to give some love to the Hog Riders. But if you prefer Lalo, Queen charge Lalo is definitely strong as well. You just need to be a little more careful with your Lalo, because it's a bit more difficult than Hog Riders. And the last attack of the video is Witch Slap. This attack strategy is so strong, probably the best attack strategy at Town Hall 9. We are going to run the Earthquake Boots. Now, if you have the Gauntlet, that might be better than the Earthquake Boots, but I really like the Earthquake Boots here because it allows you to open up more walls, and then we're going to run the standard hero equipment on the Queen. A lot happens quite quickly here, so we are going to go in half speed. Hopefully that doesn't trigger you all. I know it's infuriating to watch. So with this army, you want to pick which side you're coming in with, then put your Golem down with 5 witches behind. So your CC Golem one side, your regular Golem the other. Put your jump spell down, no wall breakers with this army, and then your 2 giants are in the center to tank for your King and Queen. And then yet again, 5 witches behind them. And now we're going with the attack strategy. Now you might notice I'm not going to be able to get across the whole base here with just 2 jump spells, but I got a trick up my sleeve, and which is why I love the Earthquake Boots with this army. The good thing about Earthquake Boots, by the way, is you can do it with level 1 as well. So the King, he does go outside the base, but look, I'm going to pop his ability early here, and he opens up the whole base for us, and now I'm able to put the jump spell on the back end, and you can see we're able to get across the whole base here. So I do really like the Earthquake Boots with the army for that, and like I said, you can use it at level 1. It's still going to take down all those walls. And look at the witches here. They are just so protected in this attack strategy. Now, when it comes to which side you enter on, actually, I'll just wait a second, because you're going to see in a second, I'm going to use my heal and rage spell in the core. Just use the heals mainly for your Queen and the witches if they get targeted, and use the rage spell whenever there's a lot of damage in the area that you need to get through. But in terms of where you enter with this army, as you can see, we're completely wrecking this base. You always want to enter on the skinnier side of the base. What do I mean by that? Well, if I came on this side of the base, I would have to spam as wide as that side of the base, right? Which is very wide, and it makes it much easier for defenses to isolate your troops. Whereas you'll see, I came down here. That's how wide the base is, super skinny, and the witches just kind of overpowered the base together as one wave of troops. Yes, it does mean you have to go further across the base, but you've got 2 jump spells and your Earthquake Boots to make sure you run over the base. This wasn't close to time failing at all either, and that is it for the video. Let us know down below, did we get the top 5 right? It wasn't a rankings. There was, this isn't necessarily the best one, even though it kind of is. It was just showing you the top 5 ones, and I wanted to incorporate some of not only the new hero equipment, but also low equipment levels and low hero levels to show, even if you're a new Town Hall 9, you can dominate with under-leveled heroes and their equipment. Now, if you are looking for a base at Town Hall 9, don't worry, we've got an anti-3 Town Hall 9 base for you.